Straw Hut Media.
Welcome to Ask Me Anything, a beacon of spiritual exploration hosted by celebrated mediums Kellee White and James Van Praagh. From the mysteries of astrological aspects to the depths of personal growth, no topic is off limits. Your questions light the path as we navigate the intricacies of our spiritual existence together. So, are you ready to delve deeper?
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Ask Me Anything. I am spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White, and welcome, everybody. It is so steamy where I am right now on a farm in Wisconsin. It's steamy weather out there. Are you guys having a steamy time out there? So anyway, let me talk a little bit about astrology and what's going on right now. Now I'm going to answer a lot of questions here. So right now, you've heard me talk about Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. It's actually a comet, and it's in Pisces, and it's retrograde right now. And it's retrograde almost through the end of the year. Now, Chiron is the wounded healer, and when Chiron retrogrades, it means for us to go inward and look at our wounds. And so I asked this question the other day. And the question to yourself is, am I really healed, or am I just covering up the wound? What is it that I need to do to help myself? While I'm alive, what is it that I need to do while I'm here? So Chiron will really help with that while it's retrograde. Things might come up, things might get your attention, particularly with trauma. All of a sudden, you might get triggered from somebody. That's Chiron looking at your real emotional wounds here. So it's an extraordinary time for the next 6 months, really 5 months, to do shadow work on yourself, working on your shadow side. What is holding me up? Because the shadow will hold us up. The shadow kind of sometimes will take control. And so you want to look at, what's that? How that experience, angel, devil, it's on that side that's kind of throws you into a state. And so you might want to look at that. Now, also at the same time as Chiron retrograde, we've got Pluto retrograde. Pluto is it's a small planet, but it packs a mighty punch, and it is about transformation and fated events. And this is retrograde until October 10th. And when this goes retrograde, all of a sudden, you might find yourself transforming, making real serious progress in your transformation. Making changes. The thing about life is it constantly moves forward, and it's always time for us to, grow and change. Pluto will come out of the blue and kind of shake us up to make a change. So, and then we have Saturn retrograde until November 4th. Saturn is the planet of work. I've noticed a lot of people right now changing jobs, a lot of people changing jobs, a lot of things, for the best, like all of a sudden you might have had a long time job and something else comes up, or you just want to stop doing that type of work and do something else. That's the Saturn retrograde. Also, it makes us look at our health, and that's our physical health. So it would be looking at health. So if you've had health issues, it will bring you back a time to really do a lot of, again, healing. Healing seems to be the word right now. We also have Neptune retrograde. Neptune is the dreamy planet, and it can have to do with drugs and alcohol. So if you or somebody in your life that has been has had an addiction, this time it's an interesting time because this goes all the way through beginning of December, and it will make either you look at somebody until they get help, or step back and go, they need help. Or that person, you may be the person that needs the help. So it's really an amazing time for all of this. And then we have Venus retrograde, and that goes retrograde till September 3rd. Venus is retrograde in Leo in Vedic astrology. And Venus retrograde it's not necessarily a time, and some people are relieved that I'm saying this, to get into a new relationship. It is a time where old people can come back into your life. It is also a time to look at the relationship you're in and go, yes, no, it's got to be a change. So a lot of relationships can still survive if there are problems, but it would be about making massive changes in the relationship. like come to Jesus meetings on all parts of that one. So, and the last thing I want to talk about is today we have Mercury and Venus. So Mercury is the fastest moving planet, and it's has a lot to do with communications and computers, Mike, and all those kind of things. And it's conjunct Venus, which means it's right next to Venus in Leo. Again, Vedic astrology, it's in Leo, and that actually can bring a really wonderful time for socializing, being creative, using artistic inspiration and enjoyment and self-expression. And this lasts until July 30th. So these planets together in Leo actually brings out some fun and enjoyment if that's what you're needing. I know a lot of people I know are, for instance, going to the movies now. It's interesting that it would come out during this period of time. Barbie and the other movie, Oppenheimer, which I have not seen either, but I'm excited to see them. I haven't been to a movie, and actually, I don't know how long, a long time, probably before we moved. Oh, for sure, before we moved. So I cannot wait. Once I get back into Southern California, I'm going to the movies, and I'm going to go see Barbie. Has anybody seen Barbie? I'm just curious. I'm really curious. I hear it's really good. So anyway, so that's what's going on astrologically. And I wanted to answer this question, and I do appreciate, and Anne Margaret, you're also going. Yes, you're going to with us to Alaska. And Bernadette says, thanks for all you do. Why do we forget where we come from while we're on Earth? So we can create new memories. That's why. So we can only be in the present moment. If you knew where you were from and you knew all of this and you knew everything, then would you make better choices? I mean, it's a test. On Earth is a school. And so when my little grandson, August, who was 4 at the time, when I asked him what heaven was like, and he said, oh, Gigi, oh my God, heaven, it's so beautiful. And I said, and we had this whole conversation about heaven and how beautiful it was. And I said to him, August, what are you going to do while you're here? Are you? And he said, he kind of put his head down, and I said, are you going to be an artist? And he said, no. I said, what are you going to do? And he said, something different. And before I could ask him what something different he was going to do, he said, and you know what, Gigi? They take away all your memories. I said, they take away all your memories? Why do they do that? And he said, so you can create new memories. So Bernadette, so we can create new memories. That's why. How many times can a soul incarnate on Earth? Lots and lots. She says she's been here 27 times. Easily. I mean, some people I'll say, and you'll hear James say hundreds. I mean, it all depends on, Earth has been around a long time. And so we can come back and come back and come back. I've also heard many times, myself included, I'm not coming back. This is it. Do my best because I'm not coming back. I hear that a lot. Dawn Oss, she says, if a person wants to continue to learn, what is a good next step? Or a great book to read that goes even deeper than our general knowledge of the other side in this life, possibly past life? Oh, Dawn, we have this list that James and I created that'll come out in the next few days. And pay attention on social media, on James's site and on my site. And we have all kinds of books that are going to be on. I mean, if you want to read a great book about the other side, James's Talking to Heaven is an excellent book for that. But there's a lot of other great books too. Any of his books I would recommend, and that will start your process of general knowledge. And he's got written like 16 bestsellers. So make sure you look at all of James Van Praag's books. He'll give you a lot of stuff. Dee Dee says, I hope you're staying cool, Kelly. I'm trying. My mom found her Aunt Pearl's 1972 license on the garage floor after a daily clean. She died 25 years ago, and my mom was denied assets, literally out of nowhere. Okay, so I've got chills on that one, Dee Dee. That would mean that your mother's Aunt Pearl probably wants to make amends with that, since she was denied assets there. And that's her way of getting in. And I've heard many times how spirit will do that. They'll move something so we can't miss it. I know when my husband's family moved from Chicago, he was the last one in the house. And the house was immaculate. There was nothing in the house from Chicago, nothing in the house. And he walked into another room just to make sure again. And on the floor was his beloved niece who had passed a card of hers with her picture on it that was not there. And so these things happen. When our loved ones on the other side want us to know, they will move heaven and earth when they can. And it sounds like that's pretty much what had happened there. That's a big deal. That I hope your mom can find it in her heart to forgive or let go or something like that, So this is a question, and I can't remember who asked me this, and I'm sorry that I cut your name off here, but somebody asked me why I've always said that from January 1st through January 13th have difficult lives. She said, why? And she said, and what can we do to alleviate that? So I hope whoever, I wish I had the name on here. I don't. It didn't come. When I copied it, it didn't come on. So the reason I say that is anybody born between January 1st and January 13th, they're spades. When I use the destiny cards, they're spades. Spade, anybody, if you ever hear me say two of spades, ace of spades, five of spades, anything of spades, it's a serious, spades people take a serious life. And so it's challenging because they put a lot into this life to really get through their karma. So there would be more karma involved in that. And so how do you alleviate that if that's your birthday? Well, you accept I'm here, I'm taking on a lot, I'm an old soul, and you kind of embrace it. I'm an old soul, and old souls have a lot to do. And that's the attitude. Everything is attitude. Okay, so I hope that helps. Cindy Rand says, so if in each life we're known by a different name, what name are we known by on the other side? Good question. That's a great question. I think whatever name you want to go by on the other side, I'm sure we probably each have our own soul name, perhaps. I can tell you that when we come here, we choose our own name. And so whatever your name is, whether you like it, whether you don't like it, you would have chosen that name. We choose our own name. And that's why I'm always fascinated by birth names, because there's so much meaning to them. And we choose them. We definitely choose them. That. So, okay, Toby G. Hi, Kelly. Can I get a reading for my grandson? They say he's on the autism spectrum. There's a lot of really interesting souls that are coming in now that are on the spectrum, which gets to my next question that I'm going to answer about starseeds. And his birthday is January 30th. Yes, January 30th is a 10 of clubs. 10 of clubs is all about knowledge. It would make sense, actually, that somebody on the spectrum is a 10 of clubs. They're very creative, and they are very precise with what they do. They can do many things, and they're precise. They love beauty. They love sound. They are creative. They're here to teach and to be teachers and to learn. And they're very sensitive beings. So that would make sense. I hope that helps you. And then Christine Showwater says her birthday's January 30th. Okay, so 10 of clubs. I'm struggling, she says, to find the right job. Do you see an offer for me soon? Or should I start a business? Thank you for love, that you hope and the love you bring. Oh, Christine, I don't know why I just heard start your own business. I just heard that. Maybe that's a thing to do right now, honey. I think that might be really exciting for you. 10 of clubs can do a lot. They come in to have success. You can do a lot of things. Okay, definitely know that, because you can do a lot. Okay, let me have a sip of my mom's iced tea here. Hold on. Sorry. I'm fighting coughing, but I'm not going to cough. So, okay, Joy says, hi, Kelly. I would love to have a reading. I'm trying to decide whether to move or not and have been dealing with some health issues. And your birthday is May 19th. So May 19th is a king of clubs. King of clubs, that's another one. So, Joy, you have a male brain in there, and you can outthink, out-intuit. So you're the one that can make the decision. If you know in your soul what to do, if you know, you're so intuitive, Joy, just think, what do I really want? And then boom, you have the answer. You have the answers. King of clubs and queen of clubs often have to deal with health issues, both. And it's really just know this, Queen of Clubs and a King of Clubs both have the most knowledge of anybody on health. So if you're having health issues, read and learn, and you can move that on. Okay? I hope that helps you, because that's a big deal. So I wanted to answer this question, and this is from Karen Rager. Thanks, Karen, for this question. She says, can you explain to us what a starseed is? Yes, and she says, thank you for all you do. You're so welcome. So I talk a lot about starseeds, and I'm kind of passionate about this subject. I love it. I think a couple of years ago, I taught a class with James on it, and as soon as maybe when I come back from Alaska and I have time, I'll figure out another time to teach another class. But I love working with starseed people. I actually have a session where if somebody feels they're a starseed, I have a special session designed for them. So starseeds are individuals who believe that they come to Earth from another dimension to help the planet and to guide humanity into what we call the golden age. And sometimes they're souls that feel a pull to like one constellation or a cluster, or they just know they're not from around here. They're highly advanced spiritual beings that did not originate on Earth. They originated from other planets and other solar systems, typically kind of far from Earth, sometimes not. And although they don't have roots on Earth, they are here to do a specific mission, or they have a deed they wanted to do here. And often starseeds, the mission involves like paving new pathways for innovation, healing, creativity, empathy, compassion, understanding. And you're one because you feel strongly, you have strong intuition, strong empathy. You have a higher consciousness. Often they're the ones that don't want to live. They're the ones that, I would say, I'm going to take going out on a limb here, but Sinead O'Connor may have been a starseed. She was so unusual and so didn't want to be here and was in so much pain. And often I find them in pain. Bless her heart. She talk about a struggle. My God. And she had, spoke her mind, and often starseed people will speak their mind. So thank you for the question. And they're here to help humanity on some level. So I think that was a great question, and I appreciate your question with that. I truly do. So, hi, Elizabeth Preston. I'm going to see you soon. Debbie Christopher Bailey. Hi, Kellee. Hope you're feeling better. I really am. I don't sound it, but I really am. Today was my final divorce hearing. Wow, during this Venus retrograde. How wild is that? Well, hope I start living again. Oh, no, Debbie, you will start living again. You will. It's time to start living again. Really, make your life the way you want it now. Okay? Those are the orders. Make your life the way you need it to be and the way you want it to be. It's your life. Okay? Really, take a hold, and congratulations. Excuse me. Thank you, Susan. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you. Sherry Crafted Smoky, there where you are? I bet. Tracy. Hi, Tracy. Hello, my Earth Angel. 105 with humidity. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty high. And Tracy, you asked a good question, too. She said, how does this happen? And what are the characteristics of a torn chakra? So we have 7 chakras, more than that, but let's go with the basic 7. And chakras are our energy points in our body. And so when there's such a thing as a torn chakra, you're out of balance. It means that somebody would be out of balance. What would cause something like a hole in a chakra? Trauma, suffering from trauma, not speaking your truth, pain, grief, rage. It really does throw you when our chakras are out of balance. So what do we do? How do we get them back in balance? You go inward. You start, loving yourself, and often a good therapist will help it. But loving yourself, healing yourself, working with a healer helps. But starting to love yourself, and understand what you went through, having compassion for what you went through. You know, when I had my head injury, it was really rough. I had a really rough time, and I was way out of balance. I mean, way. And yeah, I had to go inward. I had to do lots of meditation. I mean, I meditated probably for 5 years straight. I'm not kidding. And I'm dedicated to meditation. I got off all medication and meditated. Is what I did for me, and that worked amazing for me. And I had to go through that grief of sadness for everything that had happened to me and everything the loss I had and the traumas that I had gone through. That takes a while. And then and having compassion for what me as a soul, it's easy to have compassion for other people, but when you have compassion for yourself, it's really important because you're important. So that's for me. When you work with traumas like that, that would be it. Okay. So I hope that helps. Gayla says it's 115 in Peoria, Arizona. Dear God, I can't even imagine that. Hi, Vicki. Hi, Vicki. I'm going to do a couple of readings from Talking to Heaven. I love these cards from James. I do. So I'm going to do, Vicki, I'm going to do a card. I'm going to shuffle these cards, and I'm going to get a card for you here, honey, because I know how important these are. From your husband. Gotta love him. I watch over you every day. And you know that's the truth. You know that's the truth. And I'm so, sorry. There are a lot of widows out there, and I'm really sorry. I know that they're, missing their partner really badly. So I just have a lot of compassion for that. So Patrick Corinne, hi, Patrick. Today is your birthday. Oh my gosh. Thanks for spending it with me, Patrick. First of all, happy birthday. And please give a big hug to you and to Mark. I hope you're doing well, honey. And I know this is going to be a great day. And I've got chills because your mom's around you. And I'm like, I want to get very excited here with your mom. Let me get you from The Power of Love. Okay. This is from James's cards, The Power of Love. He loves these cards, and these cards are great. So I have chills. Boy, you have a lot of family around you, Patrick. And I think you've got Mark's mother too. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Here we go. Okay, transformation. It's interesting enough. I was talking about that earlier. Use the power of love to move through illusions and shift into awareness. So I'm going to say this for you, Patrick. This is going to be a powerful year for you, a transformation year. Okay? Because your birthday falls right with all of these planets. Not only retrograde, they're big ones, but tonight we've got that Mercury and Venus together lined up for your special day. That means, and it lasts for a few days here till the 30th, do something fun, do something creative, really do something wonderful for yourself. Okay. You're such a good guy here. Lee Star 89 in Vermont. That's high, right? Oh my gosh. Whoa. Yeah. That's a hard, I appreciate that. Let's see. Kathy Zuniak. Sorry about that. I would love a card. So you are 521, and 521, May 21, is a Jack of Clubs. Jack of Clubs can do anything. Often they're healers. They come in to help others, and they're real creative. I mean, like really creative and wonderful psychics and mediums here. Jack of Clubs are pretty extraordinary. So let's get you a card here. Okay, let's get you a card. Here we go. Okay, individuality. You leave your unique stamp of love on everything that you do. That's great. How great is that? Okay, so I'm going to put these here. So I've got my cards that I'm working with. Oh, Darlene, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Trey, hi Trey, upper 103. Wow, 113 on Saturday. Dear God, that's just awful. So Bernadette, you've been having tech issues too. Yeah, there's something clearly going on. Maybe it's all these planets that are, retrograde. Patricia Aldana, oh, you look refreshed and great. Thank you. Thank you very much. I so appreciate. I feel really good. It's just a little warm here. That's all. Okay, Jeanette Guerra. So would love a card, and your birthday is December 22. So my favorite cousin in the whole world who's passed his last name was Guerra. And I loved him so much. Ron Guerra. Oh my God. My favorite cousin forever and a day. And he passed away. So I had to say your name because I'm like, Ron, I hope you're helping me here. And you are December 22nd. And that's my beloved grandson, August's birthday, December 22. So December 22nd is all about, it's a 9 of hearts. It's all about emotions in this lifetime, dealing with emotions, dealing with other people's emotions. Many times I see people with that birth placement that are, funny thing, psychologists, something in that mental field, or lawyers, because they also have a strong background in business on some level. But either way, December 22nd, 9 of hearts is dealing with completion of emotions. So some things may not feel fair for you because you might feel that, that one treated me wrong. Well, that happens. And then what did you learn from it? So life in this lifetime is about learning. But let's get you a card from the power of love, unity. You understand that the love shared with another is amplified and has a ripple effect across the universe. So love is very important here. Okay? There you go, honey. There you go. You were sick there too, Vincey? So sorry. Man, isn't that amazing? Oh, thanks, Constant. So nice of you to say that. Okay, let's see. Ricky Tenhoff. Hi, Kelly. Will August 3rd be a good day? I'm having a hypnotherapy session on that day via Zoom. Yes. How great is that? Oh, I can't wait to hear all about it. Anything you're doing for self-improvement right now, anything, hypnotherapy session, great. Anything that you're doing for self-improvement for now until the end of the year, excellent. And now remember, when you do hypnotherapy, things can come up. When you do any type of treatment, any type of therapy, period, things will come up. So, look at them, evaluate it, view them, and see what you think, okay? But let us know how it goes. Hi, Nadine. It's hot in Vienna, huh? Wow. That's amazing. Thanks for letting us know. And I do have, thanks for helping to grow our channel. Thanks, Renee. And if you like this, pass it on, click like. And I think I have maybe 3 or 4 sessions left before I leave. And I think it was and the first August, it was a Friday in August, first week in August. I think it's my last few sessions that I have available until I get return again. I return again at the end of August and then September. I haven't posted my September calendar yet, but we will get to that. And Margaret, I am the zinc queen right now. If you could see, I have these wrappers all over my desk from zinc and vitamin C. Yeah, it was an old-fashioned summer cold, but I am ready to go to Alaska soon. It's hot in Texas. That is the truth. The cauldron. That's very funny. DK Kiefer. Hi from the burning cauldron of Phoenix. Oh my gosh. Well, hi, Judy Freeman. How are you? I know you were in Israel. You've had quite a time. Hi, Tracy. Excuse me here. Let me answer some more questions here. Okay, this is for Tammy Connor Friesman. And she says, this show is always a happy part of my week. Yay. She said, I was wondering about the effects of crystals on the body. So that's an interesting question. Crystals on the body, like necklaces or bracelets or earrings or something. She said, I bought an amethyst necklace for my birthday. She said, after wearing it for a week, I developed an upper respiratory cold. No one was around me sick. And I was wondering if the stone was pulling inflammation out of my body. That's a very interesting question. Possibly. You know what? That's a question I would ask Prajna. I will ask her that. You know what? It's possible. It's possible. I don't see why that couldn't happen. That's very interesting. Possibly. So everybody's so sweet. What do we wear? I'm not sure. Hi, Charlene. Hi, Charlene. Charlene, I'm going to get you a question from the power of now. The power of love. Okay. Okay, here we go, Charlene. CJ, this is for you. Compassion. You demonstrate the language of the heart by actively sharing and living love. That is very true about you. And dear friend, it is very true. Dress for Alaskan cruise, Char Downey says, take windbreaker and sweaters. You're right, Char. I had kind of debated on that, but you just, cut through it. And you're right. I do need to bring more sweaters. Sweaters in August. Yes, it's true. Tracy Harbin, will you post astrology for the time you were on the cruise? Yes. I follow your astrology like a weather forecast, please. So sweet. I really appreciate that, Tracy, because I put a lot of work into it. And yes, I'm going to post it probably Monday for August, or whenever August 1st is. I think Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day that is. That'll be posted for August. And then as things come up, my assistant will have things to post. So yeah, so thank you for that. I so appreciate it. And it's going to be posted, and then it's always on my website too, kelleewhite.com. Shar Downey says, and Margaret, dress warm, take sweaters and long pants, take windbreakers. Yes. Okay, Tanya Spencer Mays. October 3rd, 1975. So October 3rd, that's my beloved daughter's birthday. 6 of diamonds. She said, I don't know how to handle being an empath. My grandmother's spirit awakened mine, and I've been struggling since. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Oh, Tanya, I've got lots and lots of advice here. It always seems to me there's many ways that all of a sudden we wake up and then we realize we're an empath. You know, people are often told early on, you're too sensitive, you're this, you're that. Such bullshit. You're an empath. And thank God, because use this as so you can read people. If you get an anxiety feeling, or if you get a not a good feeling, there's something the matter. There's something the matter. Okay, not to make you crazy. You will be feeling it because you're an empath. So take a class with James on empaths. He's got a great class on that. There's some great books, and one of the books that I recommend is by Dr. Elaine Ahrens, Arons, Elaine Ahrens, or Aaron. And she's going to be on my list. She's on my list of being an empath, an HSP, actually. I'm sorry. She's about HSP. So there's highly sensitive people, and then there's empaths. An empath is always a highly sensitive person. An HSP is not always an empath. So you could be highly sensitive to touch and to this, but you really have no empathy. You know, I mean, or you're not you're not an empath. So there is a difference. But there are a lot of great books that I'm going to have on my list that you'll be out in the next few days. Okay, so you'll look at that. And so what you want to start doing is you want to start, because you started becoming aware, you want to learn everything that you can. You want to read about chakras. You want to read about energy. You want to learn meditation. You want to get really grounded with meditation. So there's a lot of things, and congratulations for waking up. That's a really great thing. And often a loved one will die or will pass. Well, there's no such thing as death, but the person will pass, and it shakes us to our core and wakes us up. So that's what she did for you. That's really good. Okay, Linda Macus Alquist. Hi, Kelly. We had to send my beloved Chihuahua over the Rainbow Bridge last week. I'm so sorry. And I'm wondering what kind of crystals I can put on my crystal grave. We have a private pet cemetery on our property, so it will remain safe. That is such a great question, Linda. I've got chills. I don't know why, but I'm getting pink right now. Maybe rose quartz would be lovely. Rose quartz is really healing. And I don't know, I just felt like it connects with the heart. Why don't you try little pieces of rose quartz? That's amazing. Thank you for asking that question. Nobody's ever asked that. And Judy, I love you too, Judy Freeman, and I miss you too. And Judy, you lost your dog too, but I know you have a new one now. And he looks adorable. Okay, Marlene Wells, I need change. Well, let's get you a card from the Power of Now. You need some change? Let's see. Let's hear. Let's go for it, Marlene. Let's get some change here. Spontaneity. Okay, that's hilarious. You move beyond the constraints of the mind and freely and lovingly embrace new situations. That means go for it. So only you're the one that can make the changes. Look at your life. What needs to change now? And start changing. You can do it. How I've made any change in my life, I just think of it, I focus on it, and I go for it. And I don't let anything get in my way when I decide to make a change. I am like the queen of focus. I was so focused once, I walked into a bank in Long Beach, California. And Mike, if you're listening, it's a true story. I was so focused on what I had to do that when I walked into this bank, stepped over broken glass, got to the teller who's shaking like a boot, turn around and I have no idea what's going on. There'd just been a huge bank robbery. I was so focused, I didn't see the guys running right past me. That's true. True story. So I can focus. There you go. Let's see. Will I go to South America again? Do you want to go there? This is for Malia. Do you want to go there? It's an interesting time right now. And your birthday's on July 11th. Let's just look at July 11th here. July 11th is a 4 of diamonds. Oh, they'd love to travel. You betcha. You bet. Oh my gosh. Rachel Rogerson says, I just told my partner that I had a huge come to Jesus moment for our relationship. Okay, Rachel, that's hilarious. And thank you for sharing that. Don't you love that statement? I love that statement. I think it's so great. Dawn Rosen, may I have a reading, please? Was just hospitalized recently. Stroke. Oh, honey. And they cannot figure out what is wrong. I just keep thinking mind over matter. The body is nothing but matter. Thank you. That is true. So, Dawn, I'm sorry that happened, but I would have to guess that it has to do with slowing down and really slowing down. And things are mind over matter often. So really start looking at your life and figuring out what's good for you. Okay, Don? Really, let's get you a card from the power of love and take responsibility for your actions. All right, so take responsibility and start looking at your life. Really, it's time. It's a great time to do that. If anybody's doing inner work, it's a great time to do it. Okay, Cheryl Palmatier, birth date is March 8th. I'm feeling big changes coming down the pike, wondering what's in store for me. Okay, March 8th. March 8th is a 2 of spades. 2 of spades come to conquer fear. They come to conquer fear. And once they conquer fear, everything is possible. It's like what you do. After you do what you've come to do, then everything is possible. And that's a huge one here. Definitely. I don't know what's in store for you, but this would be a time. Let's get you a great card from the power of love. Friendliness. Oh, it's so funny because 2 of spades is known as the friendly card. That's hilarious. You are able to recognize traits in common with another in order to forge love-based connections. All right, Cheryl, go for it. Again, go for it. This is an extraordinary time. Renee Hounsel, all the retrograde made for an interesting event for the UPA UFO meeting in Congress. I saw that, Renee, and I thought the same damn thing. Isn't that interesting? It is. We are living in interesting times. And I'm going to tell you what, August does not disappoint. It gets pretty intense. August, September, October, November, December. Those are some big ticket item months. So it's interesting that this would come out now. I think it's so great. Interesting. Well, thanks for sharing it. Joanne Martin, Barbie is great. Very funny with great lessons. That's what I hear, Joanne, and I appreciate you saying that. And I'm going to wear pink when I go to see it. And I'm excited. I loved Barbies when I was young. Gave my Barbies to my daughter. I was giving them to my granddaughter, which is I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. So Lisa Jarity Gibson. Will my twins be okay? They are teenagers at the moment, born on 1/11, especially one of them who we feel is being used by his girlfriend. Don't you hate that as a parent? That's a tough one as a parent. I mean, really a tough one as a parent. Oh my gosh. Okay. 3 of spades. So they're 3 of spades. So 3 of spades, especially the ones, well, there's just a few placements of 3 of spades. So January 11th is one of them. They have to speak their truth. They have a lot of things to learn. They've got to be creative and business at the same time. It's an interesting mix. I promise they will be okay. They have to find their way. And they're young. They're only teenagers. And I know as a mother, you worry. I get it. I totally get it. Totally. So interesting. A lot of my friends never had children. Tons of my friends never had children. In fact, I think I was the only one and I had one. The reason I believe this to be true, that they just opted out of not having children, and anybody who has not had them, is because of the karma that plays out and the worry and all of this. And I think that they came in, not for selfish reasons, they came in to do the work on themselves. So yeah, it's a long way around the barn, but yeah, your twins will be okay. 3 of spades are smart. They're very smart, and if they need therapy, they need therapy. Not a bad thing to do, right? Okay, Rosie Wispinski. For a minute reading, I'd love to just know what you might feel that comes to mind for you. Well, Rosie, I get a really lovely person here. I get a really good soul. So let's get you the power of love with James and see what comes up for you, Rosie. I love that name, Rosie. Okay, satisfaction. You let the energy of love guide you to self-approval so that others no longer define who you are. And how great is that? I mean, to define yourself is everything. Oh my God, it is so happy. It's so good. Thank you, Don. I'm happy you're here. Okay, Elizabeth Ducati. This may sound stupid. No stupid questions. Why do people sign up to be dependent on drugs? Will my nephew beat this crap? So it's a complicated answer, but it's a great question. It's not stupid. People do come in with soul contracts of what they're going to work on in this lifetime. And maybe he's come to understand drug addiction. So on the other side, he'll help others. Because this planet has a lot of addiction to it. Because the planet is hard. And then we've got karma things, of family constellations of addictions. And nothing is lost in a family system. So I am quite certain, without knowing your nephew, that somebody in some family familiar situation has drugs and or addiction of some sort here. And I'll tell you what I always find helpful. And yes, I believe that he'll beat that, but that's going to be his soul's work to do, and he'll do it. I mean, if they, again, concentration, focus, sometimes they have to hit often they have to hit the bottom, totally hit the bottom before they come back up. And that means boundaries. That means, nothing to do with them. I mean, it's all part of all of our lessons here. It's not an easy thing, but for people that have families that are in crisis like that, I often will send them to Carrie Gonia, who does family constellation therapy. And Carrie is an extraordinary family constellation therapist. And they believe, I should say, that you carry 13 generations of trauma behind and 13 going forward, unless somebody comes in to break the pattern. And maybe your nephew came to break the pattern. Maybe he falls, he has a really hard time of it. He finally gets sober and he breaks the pattern. I don't know. So I hope that answered some of it. So Becky Fisher, my birthday is July 27th. Am I on the right path? Well, first of all, happy birthday to you. Let's get you a card from the planet, from the power of love here. Detachment. You are releasing old patterns and ideas that no longer serve your highest ideals of love. So I'd say with that card, you're on the right path, because you want to really look at your life and look at the old patterns. This is an excellent time for everybody to release old patterns, especially when we've got Chiron, the wounded healer, looking at us, helping us, trying to get us to where we need to be, Oh my God, Marlene says, I'm Nana and my friend is Gigi. Okay, that is so funny. So my mom was Nana. I just honestly wanted to be grandma. I had to sing. I wanted to be grandma. And my daughter, who now lives in Texas, said, oh, no, Mom. You have to have a name. I'm like, a name? Like, I want to be grandma. How's that name? And she goes, no. I'm like, what? And I was like, she just comes up with all these things, and I can't be Nana. My mother was Nana. And I'll never forget, I was giving birth to my daughter to Holiday. My mother comes in as I'm giving birth. My mom comes in, she goes, and they had a lot to drink. And she comes into the hospital. I'm like, how did she get into the hospital? So she comes in, she goes, I want to tell you something. I don't want to be called grandma. And I'm like, what? And she goes, I want to be called Nana. And I'm like, what? And then I looked at my stepfather who was there, and I go, what do you want to be, Nanu? And he goes, yeah. So that stuck. So they were Nana and Nanu. So I'm not Nana. I'm not Nanu. I'm not Jazzy. I'm Gigi. And that's how that came about. So I'm glad to know your friend is Gigi. There you go. Okay, Judy Legacy. Hi, Kelly. I would love a card. So 3/17, March 17, is a 6 of diamonds. 6 of diamonds is all about balance and financial, taking care of all things financial. like a karma of taking care of financially yourself and others. So it's pretty important. I mean, Six of Diamonds is very important here. Ownership. You acknowledge your misdeeds and accomplishments alike and learn to love them all as lessons. And I think that's true for everybody, that we can all take ownership of everything that we have. Okay, Amy Eberhard, March 11th. I've been having headaches that last 20 to 30 minutes. It's extreme pressure in my head and base of the skull. Well, first of all, first thing I'm going to say is, have you been to a doctor? First thing I have to say. If you're having headaches like that, I mean, you really need to, it's the first thing I would do. Okay, that's the first thing I'm going to say. And you're a Queen of Diamonds, and Queen of Diamonds tends to be in their head and worry. However, Amy, I would definitely have that checked out. If they say it's in your head, okay, that's different. But go have it checked out, okay? Oh yeah, Marlene, you're going to love the list. You're actually going to love it. The book list. I think you're going to love it. It's going to be really good. So Shelley Winnie says, I'm so grateful for your show. Thanks there, Shelley. I appreciate that. Why do you think you're not going to be reincarnated? Because I've had enough. Seriously. After this, I'm like, Earth is a hard-ass school. It is hard, this school. And I make it look easy. And often it is. I mean, James and I, we talk about this a lot. You know, we've both been through crises. We've both weathered many storms. And after a while, you think, my gosh, you know, coming back again? I think not. I think not. So, you know, other things to do on the other side. Oh my gosh, so many layers of the other side, so many growth and learning. And I like to teach. So I'm hopeful that I'll probably end up being a guide, maybe to many on the other side for Earth, and or teaching. So we'll see. We'll see. God might go, oh no, you got to go back. And I'll be like, no, really? Really? Haven't I done this like 1,000 times? I don't know, but we'll see. Dee Dee, thank you so much for your wisdom. Kelly, passing on to my mom. Good. Knew you'd love that true story. It's a great story. And Marlene, don't you love heavenly signs? Hi, Ellen Fuller. Wow, my ex is January 10th. So January 10th is a 4 of spades. And that's a tough one. 4 of spades is a tough one. There can be a tough one in a relationship. Can be. Janet Sanchez, and your birthday is February 17. You bet. February 17 is an 8 of diamonds. So 8 of diamonds is, for females, there always seem to be, they've got a beautiful smile. And they almost look like movie stars. Often I find them as movie stars. 8 of diamonds is about value. What do you value? They're also here to help others in a profound way. So once you decide what is important to you, some 8 of diamonds, their big thing is to shop. And other 8 of diamonds I see as, you know, doctors, nurses wanting to make sure people are taken care of. And so I'm not sure where you fall in that. But Sam, definitely keep sharing your art. And your June 1st, which is Ace of Spades. It's 3 of Spades. Again, 3 of Spades artist, you must. Anytime you hear me say 3 of Spades, there's always going to be a connection to art or something creative like that. Yes, share your art for sure. Okay, Dawn A. When going through a huge life transition, how do we know if we are getting assistance from the other side? Oh, 100% you are. I'm going through a separation and have been asking for spiritual assistance. Oh, your guides, your loved ones on the other side, they do not let us down. Now, we have free will here. They can help with making life, you know, maybe giving us other choices or helping us. They can bring us a lot of help, actually. But remember, we have free will. So the idea that you actually went through the separation, bravo. You know, that's a hard thing to do. If it was necessary, that's a bravo. And don't worry, Don, they're always there. So when I had my head injury, and I write all this in my book that'll hopefully come out in a few months. But when I had my head injury, I saw everywhere I went, I saw everybody, you know, standing there, and their loved ones were right next to them. Whether they were their parents, friends, loved one, whatever. They were always there. And then additionally, angels around. And then what else? Guides, spirit guides. So it's actually not possible to be alone. And when you're going through a crisis, like going through a separation and a transition, you bet if your spirit guides are there, your loved ones are there, they're helping you, they're encouraging you. You have no idea, but I promise you that they're there. Look for signs. Like 555 is a big sign because that means a lot of change. But transformation is a good thing, and transition is a good thing because that's how we grow and develop. That's, the reason I can speak from all of these places. I've had tremendous experiences here. And thanks, Lori Clark. I am feeling a lot better. Thank you. I don't sound that good, but I am getting better. Okay, Lacey Whitmore, good evening. The first time here, my younger sister was murdered in December of 2021. Oh, Lacey, I'm so sorry. And I've got chills everywhere, and I would love a message from her. Well, let's get a special message from her. Oh, honey. Oh, she's one of your companions, she says. Loved ones, companions. Okay. She says, thank you for the flowers. So there's something with flowers with you, with her. She says, I love this. There is no such thing as death. And that's true. You'll hear James say that, and you'll hear me say that. The soul does not die. And I'm sorry that you had that experience. It's very traumatic. And I know that she's getting help on the other side for all of that. Okay? She just wants love now. Please know that. Okay, Janet Slee. Hi, Janet. I went to the cemetery to bring my son, his 6-year anniversary, new flowers. And I was greeted by three crows is what the original, because I got your original one. Thank you, Janet, for writing it out again. So crows are family. That means your son is not alone. He's not alone, period. But on the other side, brings with him lots of family members because crows come in families. They are something else. The weirdest thing was my family in Alabama was from Crow County. I'm like, seriously? There were a bunch of yappers, and there was a bunch of them. But they were all psychics, every one of them. So let's get a card from your son. Okay, Janet, let's get a card from your son here. Let's do that for you. Here we go. Tears cleanse the soul. So I don't know if you've been crying or not, but just know that he's always around you. Okay, Janet? Your son is always around you. And I love that the crows came for you. Let's see here. And I only have a couple of it. Oh, here we go. Jay Jackson. I'm a widow and struggling to keep up with everything in life. And I talk a lot to widows, Jay. I've been feeling very depressed and abandoned lately, and I'm usually very upbeat. My birthday is September 4th. Well, let's look at September 4th. It's so funny. I had a session today with one of my dearest clients who I've seen for a long time. Her birthday is September 4th. We were just talking about it. September 4th is a 7 of diamonds, and 7 of diamonds has to overcome negativity. And it's hard when you are widowed. It can be really, really challenging. I want you to go to grief.com and look at David Kessler's work. David Kessler is an extraordinary grief expert. He and Elizabeth Kubler-Ross wrote the book of, I forget the name of it, but he wrote a couple of books with her. But please check them out, because check out grief.com. I think it will help you. And it's, maybe you might need a therapist to talk to. I do grief counseling as well. And I know because I work with a lot of widows. And I'm sorry, honey, that you're doing it. But let's get a card for you from the other side, from your loved ones. Okay. He says, now I have no pain. So he's in no pain. Okay. Know that. And I know how much he loves you. All right. So make sure you know that. So everybody, let's see. Let us see. I'm going to answer this. My last question today. Monica Schaefer. My daughter is 15, was first having Tourette syndrome-like symptoms, and then started having seizures, and was told it is not Tourette's, but functional neurological disorder. I've heard of that. She also has a pineal cyst. She doesn't like doctors or meds, but some days are so difficult. Mayo Clinic. Will she ever get better? Thanks, Lovely. Yeah, take her to the Mayo Clinic. Pineal gland is an interesting place because pineal gland is where they say all spirituality comes from. And Tourette's is It's not Tourette's. So functional neurological disorder. Take her there, okay? So she gets the best care, and keep us posted how she's doing, okay? Yeah, she will get better. She will get better. I'm guessing that she's not from around here either, that she's a starseed. And so starseeds also, they haven't had bodies as often. So sometimes we find some neurological issues and body issues. So definitely take her, honey. Okay, definitely do that. So everybody, take care, everybody. Have a great week, and have a blessed week. Take care.
Thank you for joining us on Ask Me Anything. We hope our discussions with Kellee White and James Van Praagh have enriched your spiritual understanding and personal growth. From recognizing spiritual elements in children to understanding the subtle energies of crystals, each episode is a treasure trove of wisdom. Missed a live session on Facebook or YouTube? Don't worry. You can always find the latest episodes on your favorite podcast app. Remember, your queries form the heart of our show. So keep those questions coming for the next episode. Before we close, make sure you've subscribed to join us on this enlightening journey. Until next time, continue to question, explore, and grow. The universe is full of answers awaiting your curiosity.